Okay, some people asked for this and not everyone, but I'm here to give my silhouette portrait tutorial. This is going to be a super quick tutorial because when I was first learning, I was like, how do I do this? I just want answers. So here's my answers on how to use the portrait to make some stickers. I may not have all the answers, but if you have questions, you can try to ask me. I will try, but no guarantees. Definitely contact Silhouette the people if you're having further problems. Okay, let me attempt this voiceover thing. Oh, also, so when I was starting out, for some reason, my Silhouette was printing a lot of glitches for me. What that means is like there were lines on the page and I was like, what's going on? So I recommend using this old version. The edition I have will be on the screen. You're probably looking at it right now. So if you're having the same problem that I was having, definitely download this old edition. It fixed everything for me, so hopefully it fixes it for you also. Okay, so we're going to create a new page, and right here on the right, page setup, just follow everything I have. Unless if you don't have a portrait, definitely change the machine and the cutting mat. But these are my settings. Pause and copy if you would like. Spacing doesn't really matter, it's just how you would like to picture things on the page. I don't know where I learned these from, but based off of the other tutorials, this is what I kind of worked with and found best for me. Definitely change the dimensions, this will help a lot, and the position, that helps a lot. Fast forward. Okay, so we exported our sticker file as PNG, and now you're gonna just drag it over. Drag, drop. Resize to the size you want. In this case, each square is about 1 inch. So I'm gonna make mine about like 1 by 2. Next is you're gonna click on the trace button, click select trace area, and you're gonna cover that whole sticker. Make the threshold 100 and then trace outer edge. So now you have your sticker and basically you traced an outline. Here's the tricky part. To make a border, this is what got to me. So in order to make a border, make sure you click on that trace line. If you click anywhere outside of it, you're gonna make an outline of like a square. Do you see how there's a smaller square versus a larger square? You're gonna make sure that you have the smaller square because that's a sign of you clicking on that red line. If you click anywhere outside of that, it'll not look like this. Next, we're gonna click on offset. This is what basically makes that border for you. In order to use offset, make sure you have that red line selected. So you click on that red line and then we click on offset. If you click anywhere outside of that, this will not work. So after you click on offset, you can adjust the distance. So basically your border size. I would just play around and see what kind of size you like. And now this is what also got to me. At this point, you essentially have 2 lines. So one that is directly on the sticker, and then you have your border cut line. I hope this makes sense. But if you don't, just look at the screen. You can see that there's 2 lines. There's one around the brown line, and there's one outside of that, which is the border line. You have to click on that inner red line and click delete, or else your silhouette is gonna cut 2 lines for you. So now I'm just copying and pasting. What I did earlier was I grouped the 2 layers together. So select your 2 layers, go to object, and then group. I really hate voiceovers. This doesn't work for me. I'm avoiding that gray line, which is the cutoff line, and I'm also avoiding the registration marks, which is the black borders on the sides. If you accidentally go over those, your sticker's basically ruined. Now we're going to click on the send button, and this is where you basically play with all the settings and see what works for you. I'm using the Online Labels matte vinyl paper, so these are the settings that work for me. If you have that same paper, maybe try out my settings. And now we're going to move on to the cut process. So a lot of people ask me what settings I use. Usually I just typically change the print quality. I make it to high, and media type 90% of the time I will use plain paper. Unless if it's printing out really faded, I will choose something like high resolution paper. It makes it a little bit darker. Sometimes I do select the whole page and I adjust the saturation to like 30 or something, and I click apply. Sometimes it does something, sometimes it does absolutely nothing. So after you do that, we click print and we print it out. Here's another thing. On this page, the send page, you're gonna see on your left that red line. It's thicker for you to see where that cut line will be. If at any point you see like 2 red lines on one sticker, then that means you need to go back and cut out that inner red line, or else it's gonna cut 2 lines for you and you're gonna have a mess of a page. That was my major issue. So you have your mat. There's the 3 lines. I always line it up to the 8.5 by 11. And you press. Oh, you can't really see, huh? This was the 8 by 5, 11 line. Okay, here's the part that really gets to me. This one drove me like insane. We're gonna line it up to the second line right here. As you can see, there's a few lines to choose from. Line it up to this second line. Line it up, and then you're going to click this up arrow. What I do is I hold it down and I press it slightly against the thing, the bar, and I click. And now we're going to go back to the studio and see if it works its magic. If not, we'll talk about that. So we're going to press on send. We're going to click this down arrow to release. Oh wait, we're not done. Okay, we're done with these. I'll probably use these as Patreon stickers. Let me show you what it means to do like a test run. So it doesn't really matter. Just have the paper up here somewhere. And then you're gonna go back, select the settings you want, and then click test. And then what that does is it creates a square for you. Ta-da! Here's an example when it doesn't work. So for some reason, this one doesn't like to read. Okay, in scenarios like these, we have to end up using the manual register button. I'll show you what that means. Essentially, we're manually moving the blade to that black square. I don't know if you can see it, but that square, that's like the registration mark. So we're gonna go back to our computer. So you're gonna line up this right under that square. Right there. Black square under the circle. Then we're gonna go back to the computer and then we're gonna click register.
I am a photographer and I took this photo. That's it, thank you.